I'm James Tracy from Leinster Rugby, and I'm here with BearingPoint, our innovation partner, to discuss the EU Green Deal and the target of becoming carbon neutral by 2050. This is an ambitious challenge for companies and countries alike, and obviously climate change is going to have a huge effect on our future and our kids' future. What does this mean for industry?
Yes, it is. Governments and companies will need to reduce their carbon emissions by up to 7% per year in order to meet their targets. This will be a difficult task for governments and companies, so they will need buy-in from everyone in the organisation, and they will need to start now.
The government has its climate action plan. How do you reckon it's going to affect industry?
So companies will need to look at reducing their carbon emissions across their corporate and supply chain processes. They'll need to look at different areas such as transport, energy, facilities and so on. And remember, they need to pick initiatives where they can make yearly improvements to arrive at a carbon neutral position.
That's very interesting, Claire. So how can companies start on that road?
So firstly, they need to measure their carbon emissions to understand where they're at now. Secondly, they can do a carbon emissions assessment. And then thirdly, they can put processes and plans in place to reduce their carbon emissions.
And where does BearingPoint fit into this?
BearingPoint have an emissions calculator. So this will allow companies and governments to understand where they are now with their carbon emissions and put plans in place to reduce those carbon emissions.